Williams is one of the greats. For Serena, her journey to greatness is filled with hardship and criticism.
Massive point for Serena Williams.
People try to bring her down because she's unabashedly herself.
No, I'm just me, and that's all I can be.
She is not afraid to use her voice to stand up for her beliefs, actively encouraging young girls to chase after their dreams.
Let's not boo anymore. We're gonna get through this, and let's be positive.
Serena Williams is not only a champion of the courts, but a champion for equality. She's said, "The day I stop fighting for equality and for people that look like you and me will be the day I'm in my grave."
It's been tough here for me, but thank you so much.
Over the last decade, Serena Williams has become an icon of resilience, strength, and beauty. She has won 23 major single titles, the most ever by any man or woman. She was ranked #1 on 8 separate occasions between 2002 and 2017. With 39 Grand Slam titles, Williams holds the record for the most titles in singles, doubles, and mixed doubles amongst all active tennis players combined. She is a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. Even with her accomplishments, critics were quick to dismiss her being the greatest tennis player. In fact, that's been the narrative throughout her professional career. Skeptics were always willing to bring her down. No matter what they nitpick about her, Serena does not let it get in her way of achieving greatness on and off the court. Even with the incredible amount of success throughout the years, Williams had an overwhelming number of obstacles to overcome professionally and personally. Serena's strength comes from her background. Her parents raised her to love herself and, on the courts, to chase every ball.
If you were a tennis player, who would you want to be like?
Well, I like other people to be like me.
Serena Jamaica Williams was born in Saginaw, Michigan to Richard Williams and Oracene Price. Her father was a sharecropper from Louisiana who moved to Michigan. He was key on turning his daughters Venus and Serena Williams into tennis superstars. The two sisters are part of a family of 5 daughters, with Serena being the youngest. At a young age, Serena Williams was competitive and a perfectionist. Her mother, Oracene, recalled, "With Serena, everything had to be perfect, and she would get frustrated if it wasn't. She always had to win, no matter if it was a talent show, cards, she had to be the winner. She would sit on cards, and they let her do it. They gave it to her even if she didn't win. I think it affects her to this day because she hates losing." In 1983, the family moved to Compton, California. After learning that top female tennis players can earn thousands of dollars per tournament, Richard was determined to see his 2 youngest girls succeed. Richard eventually left his job to coach the girls full-time. Serena is a quick learner and had a drive like no other. In 1991, she played her first junior tournament at the age of 9 and made it to the final where she faced Venus. For that particular tournament, Venus was signed on by her parents to play, but Serena signed herself up. The sisters played so few junior tournaments for a number of reasons. Their father wanted Serena to go slowly and also focus on school because they were kids. He didn't want them to burn out before they went pro. They also faced intolerance from other tennis tournament goers due to them being racially different. At the time, Serena was 46-3 on the Junior United States Tennis Association Tour and ranked first in the 10 and under division. Richard chose to withhold the daughters from competition until they were ready to compete on the pro tour. In 1991, they met with their first high-profile professional coach, Rick Macy, in Compton. A few months later, the family moved to Florida so that Serena and Venus could train with him at Greenleaf Golf and Tennis Resort in Haines City. There, Richard let go of some of his coaching responsibilities, but not the management of Serena and Venus's career. Wary of his daughters burning out too quickly, he scaled back their junior tournament schedule. Rick Macy recalled, "What blew me away was their burning desire to run and fight and get to every ball like their hair was on fire. I had never seen 2 kids try so hard. I had never seen bodies that could move like that. Athletes with their body types went to other sports. They didn't play tennis." Her family noted at an early age Serena's athletic build. Her sister spoke about how Serena was naturally gifted with an athlete's body since the age of 3. Being naturally gifted isn't enough. Serena worked hard to hone her skills. Some critics don't understand being gifted will not make you a champion, so they often put down Serena's build. Body shamers have never taken Serena down. It only made her work harder. She's been driven since she was a child, and there was no way she was going to give up due to criticism. In fact, it fueled her more.
Close your eyes
of a determined young lady.
On October 28, 1995, at the age of 14, Serena made her pro debut in the qualifying draw at the Bell Challenge in Quebec, where she lost in less than an hour. Initially, her parents didn't want her to go pro until she was 16. Serena was determined to test out her skills against others. Unfortunately, Serena lost many matches. Tennis legend Nick Bollettieri recalled, "From the years I traveled with the Williams family and they came to my camps, the story I most remember is Serena sitting in the shade in my stadium court, head down, so upset. She said, 'Nick, I'm tired of coming in second place.'" With a stronger fire, Serena started winning. At age 16, Serena and partner Max Mirny won the mixed doubles title at Wimbledon and again 2 months later at the US Open. Serena also won her first professional title in doubles in Oklahoma City with Venus. Serena and Venus won 2 more doubles titles together during the year. Williams finished the year ranked number 20 in singles from last year's 99th place. Ever since she was young, Serena had great confidence in herself. She often said she could easily beat male tennis players. She tried doing so in 1998 at age 16. Though she lost, she showed great spirits, challenging the norm. On September 11, 1999, at only 17, Serena won her first Grand Slam title at the US Open.
The number 7 seed is the 1999 US Open Women's Champion.
She made history being the first African-American woman to win a major in the Open era. The win put her into 4th place. The media took more interest in Serena, putting her on the cover of Sports Illustrated. In 2001, the Williams sisters vowed never to play at Indian Wells after an incident. Venus was set to play a semi-final against Kim Clijsters but dropped out due to injury. The crowd acted especially rowdy and greeted Serena with jeers.
A crescendo of boos for Serena Williams.
As much as the sisters who can play tennis at such a high caliber were a sensation in the tennis world, they were also a rarity. Thus, many suspected their father of match fixing. Though Serena beat Clijsters, the sisters vowed to never play there again, and it took 14 years for Serena to return. Later that year, the sisters met again in the final of the US Open, the first Williams vs. Williams Grand Slam title match. Serena loses to big sister Venus. People say this loss was worse for Serena because it was to her sister, but it motivated her like no other loss. After an injury, Serena took over the courts. She won her first day court title at the Italian Open, the 2002 French Open, her first Wimbledon title, and the US Open. She returned to the Australian Open a year later and won, completing the Serena Slam by holding all 4 major titles simultaneously but not in the same calendar year. Incredibly, Serena faced Venus in all 4 finals matches. Coming off a high, the next few years Serena faced many hardships. In 2002, her parents divorced, which put a strain on her mental health. Then, in 2003, her sister and assistant, Yetunde Price, passed away unexpectedly, adding more to her mental strain. The tragedy shook the family as the 5 sisters relied on each other emotionally. That didn't stop her from playing tennis. Serena won her second Australian Open early in 2005, but had to deal with her knee injuries, poor conditioning, and coping with her sister's tragic passing. Serena began to focus less on her tennis career and did more things outside of it. In 2007, a charity trip to Africa changed Serena's life. Her mother explains, "Seeing where she came from, how we got to where we are now, seeing the ports where they shipped us off, and the life of our people, that really changed her attitude about being a black woman." Serena's new resolve rekindled her love for tennis. She decided that if she's going to play, she's gonna win, and that she did. Newly determined, Serena begins working with renowned fitness trainer Mackie Shilstone. After working with some of the best athletes in the world, he said, "Serena is one of the most mentally tough individual athletes I've ever seen, man or woman, in 30 years of experience." In 2008, Serena and Venus won doubles at the Beijing Olympics. A few weeks later, Serena won her 3rd US Open title. Coming off a win at Wimbledon and having won 3 of her past 4 majors, Serena makes it to the semi-final of the US Open, where she looks to defend her 2008 title. In the semi-final, Serena plays Clijsters, at the time an unseeded wildcard, who had last won the tournament in 2005 and lost the first set 6-4. She bashes her racket on the court, earning her a warning for racket abuse. In the second set, with Clijsters up 6-5 and Serena serving, to send the set into a tiebreak, lineswoman Shinode Tsurubuchi called Serena for a foot fault on her second serve. Serena argues the call, threatens the lineswoman. The match ends early. 3 months later, she is fined $82,500 and placed on a 2-year probation. It's the largest fine ever levied against a professional tennis player. Friends and family close to Serena explained she was at a breaking point after everything she's experienced throughout her professional tennis career. She later apologized for the outburst. In 2010, she continued to win, but in January, a pulmonary embolism was detected in her lungs. She did not play again until June of 2011, but she was back in the courts in no time. Serena returned to the courts, but with a losing streak into 2012. After defeat, Serena reached out to French tennis coach Patrick Mouratoglou. While most players leave town after losing, Serena decided to practice at the place she lost the French Open. In 2012, with Mouratoglou, Serena worked hard. 3 months later, she won Wimbledon for the 5th time. She followed that performance by winning 2 Olympic gold medals in singles and doubles at the London Games. In 2013, Serena, now 31 and the oldest female tennis player to be ranked number 1, won her 5th US Open, then made history again, being the oldest winner of the Australian Open at 33 years old. The same year, she won her 20th Grand Slam victory after winning the French Open. The next month, Serena won Wimbledon for the 6th time and, at 33 years, 289 days, becomes the oldest player to win a Grand Slam singles title. With the win, she earned her second Serena Slam by holding all 4 major titles at once. She was 1 win away from tying Graf's record of 22 Grand Slam wins and becoming the first woman since Graf in 1988 to complete the calendar year Grand Slam. Sports Illustrated named Serena its Sportsperson of the Year, the first solo female to be awarded the honor since 1983. Serena was criticized for the magazine's cover image, but it didn't faze her. Serena is very comfortable in her skin because her mother made sure she raised her daughters to know they're beautiful and strong women. As a powerful woman of color in the world of tennis, she was not the norm. Critics did not hold back to let her know. They have depicted her in unimaginable ways, commenting on her skin, body, and features, often conveying that she should play men's tennis. She's been tested for performance-enhancing drugs more than twice as often as her peers. With the increased amount of spotlight, Serena used it to become an advocate. Though Serena never set out to be a role model, she is an aspiration for millions. Those closest to her say she is simply being herself. Staying true to herself was key. She never gave up, and those are the actions that made people realize Serena is a warrior. With her platform, she's very vocal about equality for women and people of color, as she is both. She is a vocal advocate of the Black Lives Matter movement before the movement went national. In 2015, she wrote a piece in Wired magazine encouraging Black Lives Matter activists not to get discouraged. She's also praised those who have fought for social justice, such as Colin Kaepernick. For over a decade, she's been pushing for equal pay for women in tennis and other fields. In 2017, Serena Williams broke down why the gender pay gap hits Black women the hardest in a powerful essay for Fortune. She wrote, "The cycles of poverty, discrimination, and sexism are much harder to break than the record for Grand Slam titles. For every Black woman that rises through the ranks to a position of power, there are too many others who are still struggling."
And we have to use our voice, and we have to deserve the same treatment as everyone else.
She embraces her identity. Serena has backed many woman-owned companies such as Bumble, The Wing, and Billy. Recently, she bought a stake under her daughter's name in Angel City, an upcoming women's professional football club, as she wanted her daughter to be part of history. When faced with unfairness, Serena is not afraid to call it out, such as the case when she called out an umpire for taking a game when she called him a thief.
You owe me an apology. Say it. Say you're sorry.
It is noted other players have gotten away with worse name-calling. In a conversation with Common, Serena said, "I wouldn't want to be any other color. There's no other race to me, and I'm really proud to wear this color every single day of my life." Serena also has made a name for herself in the fashion and beauty industries. She's been a long-time spokeswoman for Nike since their partnership in 2004, often using the partnership for social awareness and encouraging others to follow their dreams, incorporating their tagline, "Just do it." She has has 3 clothing lines and is part of Poshmark's board of directors. Unintentionally, she's breaking gender norms by her fashion choices on the court. She wore a catsuit to help her medical condition, but the French Open forbade it because it wasn't feminine enough. Instead, Serena opted for a tutu. On January 28, 2017, Serena became undeniably the greatest.
Congratulations, Serena, on number 23.
She defeated Big Venus in Melbourne to win her 7th Australian Open title and capture her 23rd Grand Slam, giving her more Grand Slam titles than any player in the Open era. The record proved skeptics wrong. There's nothing to fault in her professional career. Serena is the greatest. It was later revealed she was 20 weeks pregnant at the time. After the birth of her daughter, Serena suffered from a pulmonary embolism. After recovery, she later returned to the courts. However, she was unable to capture another title until earlier this year at the 2020 ASB Classic. No matter what comes her way, she will never give up. Serena Williams' legacy is still being written.
Our champion, the legendary Serena Williams.
Will Serena Williams be able to win another Grand Slam? Is she an inspiration to you? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for stopping by The Taco.